Right, okay. For now, enough about speaking. Let's talk about written and reading tests. A lot of interviewers, a lot of companies will give you or may give you a sample of something to read, and then you have to make a deduction from that and then answer the question. As obvious as it may sound, it's always good to highlight the keywords and understand what the question is asking. Now, let's say it's a scenario based on a customer who has an issue, and you'll have typical questions like this. For instance, I don't know, someone is having a problem with their broadband speed and they're not very happy about it, so they want the speed to be restored back to normal, or they want a partial refund of their monthly plan, something like that. So it may say that, okay, Mr. A has this issue and this is the resolution he seeks. Okay, so please write a response. Now, if it specifies it's an email response, please make sure that you do it in the format of an email. So, dear Mr. X, Y, and Z, whatever the name is, reply to the subject, date it, okay, and make sure that they're paragraphs and that they're systematic, so that there's a continual flow which makes sense. Okay, so first of all, acknowledge, thank you for writing to us. I apologize, or I'm sorry for these issues that you've encountered, and as I can see following checking our records, this is what's happened. However, as a goodwill gesture, we are prepared to offer you this. Okay, for any further information, please reach out to us using the following means. Okay, that's fine. Now, what if the same question is structured in a slightly different way, and instead of saying prepare an email response, it is through, let's say, a chat process or social media campaign. So some disgruntled customer has written on social media, let's say Twitter, on the Twitter account of the company that, look, I'm not happy and I've been calling up your customer services and you're not helping and you're pathetic. How are you going to respond to that? Now, that's going to be somewhat different. You won't write as much, and you may direct them to have a personal correspondence. So it may be that, okay, thank you for expressing your concern. We're really sorry to learn of the difficulties you've faced with reaching out to us. If you could please email us with this, maybe with this reference number, and we'll be able to help you out. And we wish to resolve this, all right, to end your pain, something like that, because you don't want it to become a personal kind of correspondence exchange on the public domain. So these things are very useful. And you know what? When it comes to email and blended processes, you may even have chat tests. So you may be interactively, writing and typing and corresponding with the examiner or the interviewer. So again, it's very important, they're acting as a customer, that you respond to whatever they say. In one paragraph, they may ask you 5 questions. It's imperative that you answer all 5 questions. Okay, it's very easy for your attention to lapse and then forget something. It's very important to go through all of those things. All right, and let's say you're doing a mock call with an interviewer, and the interviewer says to you, or the customer, they're acting as the customer, they say that, okay, you say, thank you for calling company XYZ, and how can I help you? My name is this, how can I help you? And they say, okay, I have 3 concerns, 1, 2, 3. You say, okay, I'm sorry to hear that, and let me see what I can do. Take them through the verification or whatever the procedure would be, bearing in mind it's a mock call. That's okay. And then you can say, okay, so to answer your initial query, this is what we can do. And if you have forgotten what else they've asked, you can always say, okay, and sorry, could you just remind me what your other queries were? That indicates that you're human, but you have not forgotten that they had other queries. Otherwise, giving the impression that you've overlooked upon someone's query or concern could come across as being rude, that maybe you weren't paying attention, which is not the case. Okay, so there's always a smart way to deal with things, and these are little hacks that you can use. So until next time, stay tuned, and I wish you well.